Everyone dreams about living an uncommon life, but how we define that dream is very different for each of us. And for most, it's a lifelong pursuit. Welcome to the Uncommon Life Project podcast. We're going to introduce you to people who are living that life or enjoying the journey to get there. We're going to also give you some tools, tricks, and tips for starting or accelerating your own efforts to live an uncommon life, a life worth celebrating and savoring. Please welcome your hosts, Bryan Dewhurst and Philip Ramsey.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Uncommon Life podcast, where I am your host, Philip Ramsey.
And I'm Bryan Dewhurst.
And we have a really cool show for you today. Totally different.
Special guest.
Kind of nervous, not going to lie to you. But first, let's thank Virginie for that wonderful intro.
She's amazing as always.
Always consistent. And so let's go into the show and why I'm a little nervous and excited all at the same time. Our guest is the one and only Chris Ramsey, which is my mother. And
in studio, by the way.
In studio. First one in studio?
It is first one in studio.
And
a lot of firsts today.
And last one in this studio as we are moving.
Yeah, moving locations.
Which is exciting and nerve-wracking and no one cares. So let's just keep going. Let's talk about our guest and then we'll jump into it.
Chris Ramsey currently co-owns and manages, along with her sisters, Parkview Mobile Home Court in South Sioux City, Nebraska. A Northwestern College, Orange City, Iowa attendee, she has worked in advertising, Native American tutoring, and Bethany Christian Services Adoption Agency. She's a singer, songwriter, and performer. Her group, the Matney Sisters, were chosen by the Smithsonian Institute to represent Iowa during the sesquicentennial celebration, performing on the Mall in Washington, D.C. for 2.5 weeks. Chris resides in Grimes, Iowa, with her husband, Phil, of 43 years, the silver fox, we call him. Her most important accomplishment has been that of being a mother to 2 children, now adults married with, and Nana to 6 grandchildren. She is a huge advocate of stepping out in faith, allowing God to work in all things creative. Welcome, Chris Ramsey.
Thank you.
Isn't that the greatest intro ever?
That is. And I am honored to be here.
Nice.
I am honored, especially in this platform, because many years, all my words didn't always mean everything to Philip, and now he's hanging on my
yes.
every
Now you've got him.
phrase. I got him in the palm of my hand.
Oh dear.
Just kidding. He was amazing.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
that's
it was
not true. All right. So why do we want you on the show? Let's talk about that, Bryan. Why do we want my mother on the show?
Well, I think for me, it's been really neat to see you and Phil enter into an entrepreneurial opportunity at a different stage in life than most people would enter into it. And so it's been cool to see just the growth, not only through your faith and your marriage, but yeah, this kind of creative entrepreneurial spirit that's been passed down from your parents, and we'll get into that. So for me, that's what it's about, and it's just cool because she's your mom, and I think a lot of people want to know some stories about Philip too. So I don't know if we'll have time for that today, but we'll see where we go.
So let's talk about, when did you acquire the mobile home park in South Sioux City, Iowa?
Well,
Nebraska.
This is Nebraska. So this park has been in our family for 34 years. And at the time, my father, both my parents have passed away. And at the time that my father passed away, he had owned it for 28 years. And then my mom lived for 2 more years, and she was in poor health, but nevertheless, she really owned it. And then when she passed, they graciously willed this park to us, and that was in 2014. So at that time, we were owners. Our brother-in-law, Denny Nutt, was the manager. And so we really didn't play a huge role. We worked, just probably once or twice a week, but we didn't do the managing responsibilities.
What was that thought process when you first heard that you now have this park? Was it excited? Were you nervous? Was there a transition there?
Oh, it was very exciting because just through the process of Grandpa, I never know whether to call him Grandpa or Dad.
Yeah.
Because
so your dad, my grandfather.
Yeah, right. Yep. He,
which his name is Harley Matney.
And as we were experiencing this time, he had a stroke, and we had moved back to the area. So Shelley and I were really the ones that really worked with him. We were his hands and feet. He was very sharp and such a great businessman, but we were the ones that really actually did the day-to-day driving and so forth. But through that process, I learned so much from him, because he was a huge advocate of surrounding yourself with good people. And at one point, we were in the middle of actually looking for a manager. This was before Denny. And he looked at me and he said, "Honey, you could do this."
Mm.
And, I said, "No, Dad, no, I can't do this, because I'm very creative brain. I don't know if that's right brain, left brain."
Sure.
Speaking from a true creative.
From a true creator, I don't know which brain that is. But anyway, I'm creator, I'm songwriter, singer, musician, artist to some level. And that was such a bizarre thought to me. And
to own something that you're now running.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're having your father who's ran it saying
Absolutely.
that you could do it.
Yeah.
There is a chasm there that I could see that you would be like, I can't run it the way you did.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes, you can." And then it rolled on, and then all the way to the point where he passed away, and then Denny took it over. So to answer that question, it was exciting, but yet there still was that level of, we didn't really run it.
Yeah.
We were under somebody.
Yep. And now you are running it.
Exactly.
With the thought process, I think it's important to even work through that you told your dad, "I can't do this." Like, you were kind of telling yourself, "I can't do this."
Exactly.
There's too many unknowns. I'm sure you were thinking. Well, let's be honest. I was there with that decision. And I remember telling you, like, what's the worst that can happen? You're stepping into something that the hard work of my grandfather, Harley, has done. Mm. And now you can step in, and now you can honestly see if you do have it or you don't. And so I remember, like, just encouraging you and, my father to, why not give it a shot? You really don't have anything to lose. And even if the park's value goes down as you're going through that, what you're going to understand and know because of it is going to be far more valuable than any amount that it goes down. I remember seeing you like, well, maybe I can do this. And now stepping into. So let's go. I want to take a little bit of a hiatus and go backwards, because you were married 10 years and then your father decides to purchase this park.
Correct.
What was he doing before this? Do you even remember?
Absolutely.
Okay, what was he doing, and how did he get to owning a mobile home park?
He was, his whole career was in meatpacking business, and he worked from the bottom up to be a vice president at Illini Beef in Joslin, Illinois. And when he left that profession, he decided to invest. He did a lot of research. He always did a lot of due diligence. And he decided at that point, I think, to get into real estate. But he at first decided to do Meatpackers Supply International, which was kind of a combination of what he had learned all through his years. So he was supplying meatpacking supplies all throughout the United States.
Oh, wow.
And even internationally, so it was knives and, just all things associated with that, the helmets and
mesh clothing.
Yes, exactly.
For safety.
So he did that for a long time. And then he took the jump and got the park. So, just to coin a country music song, because me, he was country before country wasn't cool. He was into mobile home parks before they were the thing.
Right, yeah.
And now, if I can fast forward, we on an average are called 3 times a week and I'm
Not kidding.
being of people that want to buy our park.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is something that is, is this like residual?
That would be
Yeah.
residual.
This is residual.
And other people are catching on.
And
3 times a week.
it's as if people, the scales have come off their eyes and they see, what a benefit this is.
Yeah.
And he saw it then.
Yeah. So neat.
So he gets into the business, the meatpacking business.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets into the mobile home park. And if I remember right, like this is a little bit, I know this because he was running his meatpacking supply out of the office that he was owning of the mobile home park. So it was like right in the heart of it. So he had like dual businesses running out of that one business.
Which is how he rolled.
Yep.
He was forever throwing the anchor forward. At 80 years old, took out $100,000 loan on the park.
Yep.
Who does this?
Yeah.
At 80.
Yeah.
And we've paid it off.
Yeah.
But he was forever doing that. And
understanding how to
What
make
was
upkeeps.
that for, the 100,000?
It was for improvements
Oh, wow.
in the park.
Yeah.
Still investing forward.
Still.
That's so neat.
Mhm.
So not only did he do those two things, he also buys a laundromat. So talk through that. When did he buy that laundromat? Because it complements everything. Very nice. And it was within walking distance of the mobile home park.
Okay. So what you're not remembering is that he bought those together.
Oh.
He bought the park and the laundromat. And actually, in the laundromat, it was kind of a mall, like a strip mall type thing. And he had his office at the end of that. And at the other end was the laundromat. So it wasn't until, I believe, 1998 that he built the current office that we have on the grounds there.
Yeah.
But yes, he had his hands in many different.
And I remember going to the laundromat with him. I loved it. There was video games. I would drink soda, hang out with Grandpa. He was changing the change out of the machines. It was great. Okay.
So I want to fast forward a little bit because you talked about this. So when they passed away, we've encountered this with several families, but leaving an asset like that to multiple children, because you have 3 sisters, correct?
Correct.
What did your father and mother do to prepare you girls to inherit this type of asset and to protect you in that same vein?
Oh, that's such a good question. For one thing, Grandpa, my dad, was so intuitive, so good at thinking of all the legal aspects of things. I mean, so he always was thinking that, probably more than we were even aware of. And the question through the years, mostly from Grandma, was, what will you girls do with this park? What will you do? I think Grandpa knew. I think Grandpa had a feeling that we might go on with it because he did the hard work. He's done the hard work. But to answer your question, Bryan, it was very important to him that we put into place a buy-sell agreement. So he just wanted things equal with us sisters. He wanted things. He didn't want any problems with it and what can come up in so many families. And unfortunately, he did not get this done before he passed away. But he, particularly to Pam, told her many times, you have to get this in place. So when he passed away, almost immediately, we all were very involved with the attorney in getting that put together. And it's just worked out very, very well because one sister has retired.
Sure.
And has put that into place.
Yeah.
So
very cool. So just the importance of protecting the family relationship with a business relationship on top.
That was probably the most important thing to my parents.
Yeah, and I would say the importance of being forward thinking about that is the biggest gift for your sons and daughters. I mean, that's been a huge thing for Bryan and I, is you've got to communicate this stuff. You've got to put something in place, because a lot of times doesn't seem like it's a money issue. It's what would Dad and Mom really want to do with that money? And then it becomes a huge issue with the kids and a bickering, and that's when siblings don't talk to each other. And you can't tell me not one parent would want that, And so to do the hard work early and often and put an importance on something like that, it actually protects the whole family in that process. It's really one of the best gifts that you can give to your children. It's a legacy. It's a legacy. There's an asset there to protect everyone, to walk through that exactly how you want to do that. It's neat to see that.
You bet. So you have these three sisters. All the while, you guys are writing music and performing. And so you kind of had been in business in a different way, these last few decades before the part came. What was that? Did that kind of help prepare you for more of the business side of things or working together when you kind of inherited this asset?
Mm-hmm. Not really. This is such a different thing.
Yeah.
This different. And this actually, the situation that we're in now, where we actually own it and we manage it, didn't happen till a year ago.
Sure.
Because Denny, at that time, decided to retire. And Jamie really thought about it too. And going into this, we've had to really be in tune with our attorney as far as, could we make this lucrative with just the two of us, with the consideration of the buy-sell agreement with two other sisters.
Sure.
But then Jamie thought it over and decided that she did want to do it. So we started out trying to learn everything. Taxes and just all the bookwork. And you have to know, we're performers and we're singers and we're creative.
Not really your cup of tea.
That is not really our deal. So, I honestly feel like it was the Holy Spirit, and I truly do, that I was thinking one night and really actually overwhelmed, but I thought, this thought came to me. You need, and it was Grandpa too, you need to do what you're good at. Surround yourself with great people. He did. He surrounded himself whenever he could with professional people he trusted that would do what they're supposed to do. And then it allows you to do what you're good at.
Yeah.
And so we decided to revisit this topic with Denny and ask him if he would be interested in doing the bookkeeping for us. But had he not, because we wanted him to be retired, had he wanted to be, we would have just hired someone else. It wouldn't have been as good because Denny is family and, of course, has the heart for that. But it would have happened. And he was delighted. He was thrilled. So now we have got excellent people around us to allow us to do this business venture together, but it's a different feel than, putting together, music, performances and music and creating music. It's different, but it is so crazy fun. It's so fun.
Did you ever think you'd say that?
No.
Before you, yeah.
Oh, no. And I think the good part about it is that in this business venture, the three of us, Shelley, Jamie, and I, are very like-minded. And so we're able to look at the big picture. We're able to step back if one disagrees. One, we got each other's back. But it's been a learning thing, actually.
Very cool.
And what's so exciting is that I think that God is really highlighting things that we had no idea that we were good at, which, at my age is really kind of unbelievable.
It's kind of uncommon. Do you see what I did there?
You know what? And I led right into that.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
I did. I tried to help him out.
No, I think that's so true because we run into a lot of people, in their mid 50s and 60s that just kind of want to tap out. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want another challenge. So it's been really neat to see you and Phil kind of embrace this and, just take this on in a new way. And so kind of to your point, so we had another gentleman on the show, Caleb Walsh, who owns Mobile Home Parks, kind of probably like one of the people who's called you 3 times a week.
That's probably accurate, actually.
What is his name? I think it is.
Caleb
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just
you're
kidding.
right. Yeah.
Just kidding.
But looking at this, it's so easy to look at a mobile home park from a number standpoint, the residual income, and this is a no-brainer. But for you at this age, can you talk to the listeners about your faith and about the ministry opportunity within the park? I think, because there's a lot of people have a negative connotation to mobile home parks.
Yes.
You've been around one pretty much, your entire adult life through this. Can you just talk to listeners about what it's like on kind of the non-business side or
Oh my goodness. I'd love to. Our community is a large percentage Hispanic people. In fact, our groundskeeper is a Hispanic man. His name is Jose Avila, and Grandpa took him on probably about 12 years before he passed away. And he idolized Dad, and Dad idolized him. And he took him on and really mentored him and brought him along. But he is one of the reasons that we're able to do this,
Jose
is
one of them.
Because whenever, we need an interpreter, he comes up and interprets for us. But to go back to your question, because my dad did the hard work, and I don't say grandma, but she was a background there
for sure
to allow him to do this. But he did the hard work. And people loved him. I was always amazed when I worked with him. I wanted to see, why would they love him so much? Because, it's a deal where you pay every month, and because we just rent the land. They have to own their own mobile homes and so forth. But he was firm. He was fair. He was kind. He was, but he did all of that, sort of setting the stage for us, because now we look at this as a ministry, almost a ministry, because you get to know people that come in every month. But the other thing you learn is that you do have to have a spine. You do have to have a backbone.
Right.
And people respect you. And that's why they respected him, but he expected something from them, and we do. And I'm very proud to tell you that our park is almost, and this is a big deal because it's lower economic situations, is pretty much 100% paid. And this is huge, and it has not come without a lot of work and heartache, and dealing with people and being firm with people, raising the bar. Because
they'll test you as a new owner of something. They will totally test you.
But the deal is, you find out early on. I can remember a couple of situations with Grandpa when I was first working there, and I disagreed with him, and it was over a situation with a tenant. And I went in the back room and I cried. And because I didn't think he was being fair. I didn't think, and now I get it. But at the time, and I'll never forget this, he knew I was upset, and he said, "Honey, I want you to sit down. And I just want to hear about this. I want to hear what." And then he said, "You know what? We're going to have disagreements. And, but I always want you to say what they are. I want to talk about it because I learned from that. But someone's got to make the hard decision. Someone's got to move it. And so now, ta-da, we're doing the hard decisions. We're having to make those, but they're easy. And, we've just had situations where I've had to demand that they get caught up, and they do. It's a miracle. And then we got them a meat tray, we got them buns, we got them fruit, we got them
as a thank you.
Thank you. We got them, a $25 Walmart gift card. And so it's when you're firm. When you're firm and you expect them, you raise the bar high, and they do it. Then you come out with, and it's such a relationship building thing, And if I can revert, because I am your mom,
Yep.
If I can just revert to some parenting, because I know I'm talking to people.
I was going to say, like,
I'm
flash forward, this is my whole life.
Yeah, now you're getting some of me. But you parents out there, when you raise your bar high, and I did, and we did, your children will raise up to it. And I cannot tell you the incredible children that we have, God-fearing, just wonderful children, wonderful parent, wonderful businessman. But you have to raise your bar high, in parenting, business, even in relationships.
Yeah. And I will say just quick, something that I caught onto that was communicating even though there's disagreements. Like Brian's like, ding, 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 ding. That's where he gets it. Because like, that is like, I don't care if we are going at each other, but we need to talk through that so we can get through it or we don't. Either way, we're going to be better for it. So that's like...
Well, I got to say, as a testament to that, I think, I would say one of Philip's superpowers is he makes the hard discussions so easy. And at the end, you're like, why aren't I so afraid of that? And he does that so many times, with our clients and in meetings, but also just within our own partnership too. So it is just such a testament to what you're saying. So I got to say thank you for all that and raising the bar at home. Because it's helped us immensely. So
that's awesome.
And when you're a parent and you're in the throes of it, it's hard to set that bar high. And sometimes you're like, maybe just lower this bar. Like, it's going to be way easier for everyone.
I know, I agree. But I can see, Philip, where you with clients would be able to dive right into the hard stuff.
We get into some nitty gritty into it.
But you know what? It's a growing thing.
Oh, for everyone. For us, for sure.
It's a growing thing. And, sometimes it's hard to get into things, but it's worth it.
Yeah. So I want to change a little bit.
Yes.
So I love your husband, Phil.
I do too.
You didn't do the senior junior thing, but they do have the same name. But so he worked at Mid-American Energy pretty much like his whole career, right?
Yes, he did.
And so that was the consistency before you took over the park, right?
Yeah,
just from
absolutely. Oh my goodness,
income.
And forever grateful.
Right.
Oh, he's an amazing man.
And so as he's ending his career at Mid-American, you're looking at revving up. So what has your marriage been like in this season as he was kind of trying to wind down and now you're taking on this new opportunity?
Phil is he really is an amazing man. And he's been like this as a parent. He's been like this as a husband. He is so encouraging with this. There's no way I could do this because what your listeners don't know is that this park is 3 hours away. My husband was transferred back here and then since has retired. And I know this is where God wants us. We're around our children, our grandchildren, and so forth. But this is a way. So this is a commitment to do this, but it's so worth it. But I could not do it without Phil. And he comes with me whenever he can. He works with Jose, he's got great insight. But nevertheless, he just always knows that I'm the one that's doing this. He never, enters into that part of it. So the part of our marriage, it's been good. It's been a growing thing, but mostly not that as much as just his retiring. That's been a different aspect for him as well.
Sure.
But we're getting our dance down.
So cool. And just to how you've been married 43 years, correct?
43 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So congratulations.
On Valentine's Day.
Oh,
yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank
Very
you.
cool.
I just have to throw that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important. It's funny. Here's the quick, we're taking a time out. This is, So a lot of people want to know, how do you engage Bryan and I, right? So you can go to www.uncommonwealth.com. You can know all about us, schedule a call. We would love to dive into where you are at and where you want to go and see if we can provide value there. I was with a buddy of mine. We went to a lunch yesterday. We went to this place called B&B's Grocery. And I have never been anything like, that's not true. I've been to things like this, but it was so crazy. It's a butcher, third generation butcher. And this place is in like the heart of Des Moines. Everybody that's going in there is like smiling from ear to ear, all different clientele.
Yes.
And I go back there, and the butcher, third generation butcher, has the same hat on that I think he probably started when he was 12. And like he looks over at my buddy Todd and he goes, "You give me a chance to be your butcher and you'll never buy meat from anybody again."
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Like the passion and the drive. Yes.
Oh,
I was like, I want to buy meat from you. Like, yes.
Take my money.
Yes. And like the whole time I was there with Todd, I was like, I don't know where we are or how we got here, but I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to get food. And we got food and it was like straight off the grill. Like it felt like we were on a picnic. And when we ate this place, anyway, so just to say the passion and enthusiasm that happens from a generational family-owned business is different than something else. Now, I would also say the clientele, it was packed. And there was only one cash register. There was a couple people behind it. And the cash register said, "We need more family members because I just can't do it anymore."
Oh.
Like she was a family member.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Anyway, so I think one, the camaraderie that it comes to the community. Like, I mean, this place has been there, and the building. I mean, you walk in, you're like, yeah, this place has got some history.
What is it again?
B&B Grocery.
You know what? You
It's
just did a
on
huge
South
ad for
yeah.
them.
6th. Yeah.
Now they're really going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Now they're good.
And the way that he interacted with my buddy, I was there. I wasn't there when I saw it, but Todd said that, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I'm gonna try it." Like,
Well, you gotta try it.
yeah. And so it would be fun to have him on the show.
Yeah.
And he would do it, like, unless he was working. But
And bring hamburger.
yeah,
So that was
And
actually a
steak.
segue to my next question.
man, I nailed that.
Yeah. So you're second generation business owner.
Yes.
You have the third generation sitting here,
I know.
and Philip has a sister, Trayla.
Yes.
What would you say to your son and to your daughter as a business owner and as your vision, for the next generation?
Concerning
Just the park, life,
life in
whatever you
general.
want to. It's your soapbox here as a mom, as a business owner. Is this something you'd want to pass down to Philip and Trayla?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That would be, I think what my parents have started is a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legacy.
Mhm.
And the way they've handled it, the way they have groomed and prepared and buy-sell agreement, of course, their top priority always has been family
Mm-hmm.
and protecting that and keeping that, because we've seen many situations where that does not happen.
Right,
And even the best families can fall apart
right.
Quickly.
very quickly. So, I definitely would like to see that legacy passed on.
Mhm.
Not sure. I'm kind of like my dad and my mom. Not sure how that's going to be.
Because now you have 3 families of 4. I would
We
say.
have 4 families.
Mhm.
And I think from my perspective, I've had very open-handed. I want this to stay in the family somehow,
Yeah.
whether
I
it's
know you're passionate.
me or if it's my cousins.
You're
Like,
passionate.
how do we keep this going? Because I know what a legacy that is.
Yeah.
So however that is passed on, I'll be happy no matter what. And so I do think there is some question of, now we have 3 people owning it. The 3
Exactly.
individuals that all have family members that
Mhm.
may or may not see value in it.
Exactly.
So it's just kind of walking through that
Mhm.
as a family and being open and being honest. And what do you want? What do you don't want?
Exactly.
Is this something that's appealing to you? You just don't know how to do it. So that's where I kind of get excited, because it's a hard conversation, but
It
you can
is.
truly see like
It
fruit
is.
But it's
from it.
worth doing the work.
It's
you
worth
know?
doing the hard work with
Yeah.
that. Yes, it is interesting, because with, Grandpa always said this is going to be difficult, because you really can't have more than one person doing this.
Yeah, that's biblical.
We
One head.
and so we have an unusual situation that
Yeah.
we have 3 like-minded people that, but the thing, and Pam is like-minded as well. She has just made the choice to retire now, which was the right choice for them. They're very, very busy. But I think going forward, it's something that we have to look at and we have to talk about. And we have to, like, Philip said, some people just financially would not be able to look at it. Mm-hmm. And some have no desire to do it, mm-hmm. So that's just something that looking forward, and then with Trela, we just don't know how that will all play out.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to go back. We're kind of running out of time, so I need to be thoughtful of that. When you were running the park with all three of your sisters,
yes,
what were the strengths? Because, like you said, it's not easy to run something with more than one person. It's almost impossible with three, and it's pretty much impossible with four. Mm-hmm. But what strengths did you see each one of your sisters possessing that helped in that running of the park?
Oh, that's a great question. We talk about this. Jamie was a counselor, mm-hmm. and really worked in the business world more than Shelley and I did, and worked in office settings and so mm-hmm. forth. She brings incredible knowledge on just organization, processes, yep. files, that sort of stuff. Mm. Shelley is very creative. She's good with people. She's, she just, we all have kind of different things that we're in charge of, but, she's in charge of getting the insurances all mm-hmm. up to date and so forth. But she just brings a very heartfelt part to our ministry, mm-hmm. to our, I think I am kind of, I get things done. Mm. I want to get things done. I come with a list and it's important to me. Is that you?
No, Bryan.
Oh, that's so scary.
No, you don't.
That is so scary to me.
I just had that makes sense. The light went off.
and I have a no nonsense. I have a way of looking through and seeing kind of the
What's
black
really
and the
going
white.
On here?
Yeah, I have that. But we definitely all bring something, and we all appreciate what we have given. So, and what Pam, when she worked with the park, she has a real a mind as far as business as well. Mm. But she was very good with the people. Mm. She actually worked out in the park with Jose and developed a rapport with them and so forth. So
that's valuable.
Yeah.
Very
so
cool.
that was good.
So if I'm just going to kind of sum this up, when you're dealing with multiple relationships, you've got to define the roles, understand the strengths, and then execute those in a way that are defined, right? Because if you don't have those, it's like, well, I thought you were going to do that. No, it was your job. Well,
there could have been a lot of looking around.
There could have been a lot of looking around.
Yeah.
So I can't thank you enough for being on the show. I hope this was enjoyable. It was enjoyable for me.
It was amazing. Fun. It was very fun. It was so exciting. I was a little nervous.
We couldn't tell.
No, you couldn't tell.
Yeah, never let them see us sweat.
If you wanted to reach out to, how would our listeners reach out to you if they had any questions or if they wanted to follow up?
Like with an email?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
That'd be good.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Matney Sing, Matney, sing @hotmail.com.
Perfect. And so that would be a way to reach out to Chris Ramsey if you had any questions or follow up. But what you're doing is, one, inspiring, and also I think very motivating to other people on the podcast who have maybe an idea that wants to maybe explore that, but they think maybe an age could be the obstacle that's preventing them. Mm-hmm. So if you want any more information about Bryan and I, you've been listening to the Uncommon Life Project. I've been your host, Philip Ramsey.
And I'm Bryan Dewhurst.
And we hope you have a great day. Take us out, Virgin.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.
That's all for this episode of the Uncommon Life Project, brought to you by Uncommon Wealth Partners. Be sure to visit uncommonwealth.com to learn more about our services. Don't miss an episode as we introduce you to inspiring people who are actively pursuing an uncommon life.